All right, let's go here. This one. Would you feel better about the Lakers right now if you signed Jalen Duren and Peyton Watson rather than Austin and Kessler, and instead of Looney, it was like Nick Richards? So I do think there is part of the reason why they went after Walker Kessler. I do think Walker Kessler is, frankly, at his best, he's a better fit than Jalen. We can talk about which one's a better player, but better fit, I would check the box in Walker Kessler's column as a better fit. Peyton Watson, certainly an interesting player as well, and certainly has some upside. Obviously had some injury issues, though. But the sense has always been that the Detroit Pistons will not allow Jalen Duren to leave. I think when it comes to, well, could the Lakers have pivoted to Jalen Duren? I don't think that door was all that open, whereas the Utah Jazz, given how much depth they have in their front court right now, and they had just gotten Jaren Jackson Jr., I think there was an actual opening to acquire the player. So while the Lakers may have been, we heard the news that they were planning on meeting with Jalen Duren, all those things, I don't think that pathway was a realistic one, given how determined the Detroit Pistons have been to hang on to him come hell or high water.
It's so difficult to get restricted free agents to move. And that's part of the reason why, like, I think some of the reaction to the Lakers overpaid in terms of compensation for Kessler, I think part of that is informed by this idea of like, well, he was a free agent. Why did you have to trade so much for him? But these guys almost never move. And the fact that Kessler did is actually pretty remarkable. It's fairly rare. And so to be able, you're talking two restricted free agents there between Duren and Watson, that between that and then Austin is a bit of a different case just because we had the cap hold of what, 20.9 million on him, that it's just like the mechanics of actually acquiring them. You would have to trade compensation to both Denver and Detroit the same way. And so like in terms of a thought exercise, would a Luka Watson Duren team be better than like a Luka Austin Kessler team? Maybe, I guess, but there was no way to actually make it happen. So I don't want to use too much brain power on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could make arguments for either side. Like, would I rather have Austin Reeves or Peyton Watson? I'd rather have Austin Reeves. Would I rather have Jalen Duren or Walker Kessler? I'd rather have Walker Kessler, especially given that Jalen Duren is, wanting the Austin Reeves contract. He's wanting the 4-year deal. So, and we could talk, Peyton Watson gets half the money Austin Reeves gets. Okay, does that change your calculation? Sure. But ultimately, I just don't think that was a path that was truly available for them, was to go get those players. All right, let's go to this one. Are you guys aware how much Lakers fans hate these new owners? Obviously corrupt. Jeannie knew her fans wouldn't have sold to them. Why no open bid? So there's a few things there for us to get into, people. One of the things that I was caution is people like to present Lakers fandom as being unified in thought. Which is very much not the case. You see it right now from LeBron stands that are saying, oh, Lakers fans always hated LeBron. Lakers fans were not welcoming of LeBron. Nah. Lakers fandom is massive and very diverse. And so were there some Lakers fans who feel that way? Absolutely. Were there some Lakers fans who did not? Absolutely. So if you try to paint this as Lakers fans hate these new owners, I don't think that's an across the board true statement, given how vast the Lakers fandom really is.
I think that's valid. We're slaves to our algorithms, right? And so if you're of the mind that Laker fans, and that's a topic that's super interesting to you, of like Lakers didn't ever embrace LeBron, and you're on Twitter, guess how much of your feed is going to be about that? If you interact with that, that's going to be a lot of it. And so what all of us see is so different than it used to be. We used to live in the monoculture where we'd all watch the same things on TV and just all have at least the same input information, and we could interpret it differently for sure. But we no longer have the same input in the first place, to where I both agree with your point, but I also understand the perspective of, if that's what's constantly being fed to you over the course of your social media diet, then of course you're going to start to come to the conclusion that like everything I see is Laker fans hating on LeBron. And this is why I come to this conclusion. And so that said, I do think there is a significant part of the fan base, and I'm part of it. It's like, man, I'm 100%. Not thrilled with these people being our owners. And so I get where they're coming from, but yeah, like you said, the Laker fan base is too big to be a monolith. And we always got to remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. But are there fans who do not like ownership? Absolutely, that's the thing. And we've seen plenty of that already today. As far as like Genie wouldn't have sold to them. I don't know that we know that with certainty. But as far as why no open bid, that's again the absence of information. That is, I think, one of the big questions. Frankly, after the sale, right now we have more questions than answers. Why was this done so quickly? Why was Mark Walter able to be persuaded to sell the team so quickly? After, was it simply a financial thing? Was there more to it? Why not? If you are open to it, why not? It's kind of like the Luka trade, right? Not that he got a bad price. This is a historic price, obviously, but the Luka trade, the rest of the league went, wait, Luka was available? What
right. Yeah. Like,
why did Mark Walter not say, hey, everybody, I'm interested in potentially selling the team and take a bunch of other offers? I don't know.
Well, this is nice and tidy for a few different people because that group of Kushner and Iger were in the mix for the Vegas expansion potentially. Yes. And that was looking more and more dicey that was ever going to happen. And again, speculation, but I will be very surprised if Mark Walter doesn't get more than a slap on the wrist for his investigation. I don't think it's coincidental that that's who ends up buying the team. I think that could very well be part of the deal. And so I don't know, speculation, but this works out very well for like, even look at it from Adam Silver's perspective of like, oh, we got the owner of the crown jewel franchise of the league under federal investigation. We've got these two owners or prospective owners that have been minority owners already for other teams waiting in the wings, ready to go. Wouldn't it be nice for everybody if we just kind of did this? I think that partially answers the reason for no open bid.
Yeah, that could very well be part of this whole situation here with the Lakers. All right, let's check this out. Actually, you know what? Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. That is Prize Picks. You guys can check them out. Use the link in the description down below. Here, I'll do a quick screen share here on Prize Picks. They do a fantastic job. Super easy to play. And they've got a great promo going on right now. It is play $5, get $150 if you win. That code, it's HMA. The cool thing is you can pick across sports with Prize Picks. Again, the link is in the description down below. You can check them out. I always like looking at pitcher strikeouts. You can even pick games that are active right now. So, for example, the Orioles are playing right now. I'll go Shane Baz, more than 2.5 strikeouts, and you can go across sports as well. You can delve into WNBA. We'll go, let's go Nafisa Collier, more than 14.5 points. You look, she's done it in all 5 of her last 5 games. Cool that they give you access to that stat as well. Go check them out, guys. Play $5, get $150 if you win over on Prize Picks. That code, it's HMA, and we appreciate them sponsoring the show. Again, the link is in the description down below. All right, let's get back into some of these questions coming in. Sudlu said, sorry for being too harsh on you in Lakers Nation, Trevor. I honestly don't recall exactly what you said, but I just don't want Rob to waste another year of Luka's prime. Please, Rob, stop with the small guards. Pete, what are you taking it at its whole, at everything that's happened this offseason? Do you look at this as what the Lakers have done this year as once again wasting a year or kicking the can down the road?
No, I think the Lakers have gone through an era change, right? And look at every team that LeBron's ever left. And mind you, he's in the twilight of his career now. So it's not the same to compare him leaving now to him leaving Cleveland either time or leaving Miami. But it's been pretty dark for those franchises in the years afterward. And one of the things the Lakers really wanted to avoid was exactly that. They wanted to sort of cushion the landing of going from that era to another. But there's only so much of that you can do. And so I do feel for Luka in this, and even in the ownership change, like he's gone through so much change and like teams. So for example, the year that they traded for Kyrie worked out for them, at least for the next year, but they had no bigs. And I don't know if you remember, that was the year the Lakers ended up in the Western Conference Finals. Dallas missed the playoffs entirely, and we played them in Dallas. And LeBron sprained his ankle badly enough to actually miss some time right after that. But he went nuts in the fourth quarter because the Lakers simply had to have that game, but he was already on the bad ankle. And so what he did was, I'm just going to do the old man playing his son in the driveway type thing. And I'm just going to back down into the paint and nobody's there to stop me